Wicked, the Broadway musical that premiered in 2003, has enchanted millions with its reimagining of the story, The Wizard of Oz. The musical explores the backstories of the Wicked Witch of the West, Elphaba, and Glinda, the Good Witch. The narrative paints her as a good witch, striving to do what is right in a world that misjudges her. Sorcery is central to the plot, and Elphaba's magical abilities are portrayed as both extraordinary and admirable.
I've seen this week people are taking the lyrics of Defying Gravity and really holding space with that and feeling power in that.
I didn't know that that was happening.
I've seen it, yeah.
That's really powerful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what I wanted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't know that was happening.
I've seen it on a couple posts. I don't know how widespread, but you know, I am in queer media, so that's my,
That's really cool. Last night was a lot. There was a lot of love in that room.
The fans are really
Special.
It's a lot here. They're really beautiful and kind and soft and warm and just like sweet and
So
it was just a
kind.
lot. It was really emotional.
Yeah. My girlfriend, she took her 2 little girls last night, 5 and 7 years old, and I've written down what they said. At the end of it, they said, you have to be good and you have to be kind to everybody.
Whoa.
And she is a good witch.
Yeah, that's the message.
You know what I mean? It's that impact.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
She is a good witch.
Like, if like kids can feel that, then
Yeah. That's the point.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a point even for me as a 33-year-old girl.
Cynthia, you fucking did it, babe. Babe, like, from an alphabet, from an autistic alphabet, oh my God, you did it. I want to look you both in the eye and say you did it. You really did it. Thank you so much. From a nerdy theatre kid who was othered at school my whole life, this film means so much to me, and there are so many millions of kids like me who find refuge in the witches. And I just want to let you know, I mean, I'm a nobody, but you did it. You did it.
We love you.
And I thank you.
I had this crazy realization when everyone's talking. What? I've been listening to you for so long.
Cynthia.
The voices I've listened to. And we get to sit here and do this together. It's really wonderful.
Well, it is for us too.
You create something that never we could have a dream come true.
That's the dream. You get a part and you want it to keep going. You know, Dina has Rent. That show continues on. Frozen continues on. Wicked continues on. Yeah. Through you.
Oh, you paid.
It's true, though. It's actually for us.
Please.
It's my turn. I'm going to turn into a dolphin in a minute. Like it's
I just didn't want to skate over that. It's a big deal. We're all sat here together, doing all that work, and you passed something to us.
Yes.
And we get to give that out. It's really special.
It is. Once in a lifetime situation.
I'm so glad that we're still alive to see.
Dina, me too. Me too.
I sit somewhere between being a literal witch, I'm not kidding.
The role of astrology in your life has meaning, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, even tarot cards. When I went to the studio, you gave me a reading. You've been doing readings on set.
Yeah.
What do you look to astrology for? Is it understanding of what you're going through? Is it an understanding of what will be?
Yeah, I think it's kind of a tool to help us hear what we need to hear sometimes and kind of look forward with hope and awareness, and also reads us for filth sometimes. Sometimes we need to hear it. And just looking to something bigger than us to kind of help us make sense of it. Does that make sense?
Totally. Can you do a tarot card reading for me?
Oh my God, I wish I brought them.
Yeah, what is that? What, are you just walking around set looking to do readings
Every day. No, they come to me.
Oh, interesting.
They come to me.
You are a witch?
I am indeed. The witchiest witch. Something happened recently that I actually couldn't wrap my head around. I need to remember it.
Keep
Wait,
going.
there was something really witchy. Oh, Jim Carrey's birthday. Thank you, Mom. I announced Eternal Sunshine on Jim's birthday, and I didn't fucking know it was his birthday.
You mentioned earlier of this character is nothing like me, is a little bit like me. Like, are there degrees to which you share similarities?
Yeah, I guess sometimes it does help to find the similarities in these characters, and because it helps to like connect you to them. I think there are times when a character needs to be connected to a person, and the best way to do that is to find what is the same in you and that character.
Mm-hmm.
That sometimes opens up a door for you and an insight into who they might be if it's like an obvious connection. But for some characters, because there is no connection, it sort of also acts as a way to free everything up. I don't know this person, they don't know me, and it really is a meeting of like, who is this person? And I have to get to know them. So that you kind of can find an intersection where you can both meet because you don't know each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And for Holly, I sort of was so strange because she I guess my hairstylist would joke that when I was on set and I was in hair and makeup, and even then sometimes afterwards, I didn't exist. Cynthia did not exist. Holly was there.
Whoa.
Like even the way I would speak to someone, or like the rhythm in which I would say it, and he would be like, she's not here to do this. That's Holly.
That's crazy.
And I watched he sent me a video of me walking across the set when I was on the way to the stage in the Holly costume, but I wasn't in a scene. I was just going to set, and I watched it and was like, that's not how I walk.
Wow.
So something had changed in which like I'm watching me dressed as Holly but not playing Holly. I'm still Cynthia at that point, but that I was like, that's not how I walk.
That's so wild.
I sit sometimes on set and just wait for the scene to start again.
Cool.
because there isn't really a space to come out of that person. She's a different kind of entity, and I really enjoyed her, but she was so different.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I realized how much change I had to make to become her until I watched it back myself.
Yeah, I'm so fascinated by this idea of when a character is nothing like you, nothing, that you have to determine what you kind of agree on. It's almost sort of beautiful. I assume Harriet is it safe to say Harriet's another example of someone who's distant from you?
Yes and no, because Harriet, I think the special thing about Harriet is that we were so physically matched that I sort of knew I could do the job in my physical body. She was 5 foot, nothing almost. She sang. She was really strong.
Running.
She ran all of the physical capabilities that she had. I had, and so I guess we were sort of aligned in that. And so I guess the agreement there is that I give you my physical body to do with as you please, so we can tell the story. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because I know that my physical body is close to the physical body you had, and it is capable of doing the things you were able to do to some degree. So there's that agreement that you make to be like, okay, so you take it and let it go. Because honestly, I would make the agreement genuinely. I would pray every morning, and I would ask specifically to make the space safe for her to come in, for her to be there. And I guess the space wasn't just the space around me, but also of me and in me. So like, make it safe for her to be present so that we can tell the story as well as we can. And when you ask that I believe you ask that of a person who existed, you are asking them, and you are telling them that they have the permission to be in the space.
Just big picture overall, because, we mentioned like your life just accelerated when you made this transfer to Broadway and then made this transfer to Hollywood and everything. And you've spoken about this before, but how has the dream changed? What was the dream at first? And like, where do you go now? And how do you envision these things,
I think the dream started as wanting to be a performer in the professional space, like to really want to be able to sing and act and tell stories and do that well. And then I guess the dream accelerated for me because I started following my gut and my heart. So when I knew that The Colour Purple was coming, because this is in London, when I knew The Colour Purple was coming to London as a small play, I knew that I needed to do that show. Like I knew I knew, like I know my name.
Cool.
That's the show I was supposed to be doing. I can't describe to you the feeling I had when I knew it was coming. I can't describe that because it was so vivid to me that I was so sure that this is the thing I needed to be doing.
Wow.
And I fought tooth and nail to do it and ended up doing it. And then it changed my entire life. I honestly do not believe I would be here talking to you about a film career if The Color Purple didn't happen.
No, right.
And if I did get here, it would be in a very different way. I honestly believe that doing The Color Purple was part of a little script that was written for myself at the beginning of time. I don't know why I was so laser focused on doing that particular show. I've never been like that about a show before. Like, I've been interested and been like excited about something, but I knew outright that show was the thing I needed to be doing.
Playing these characters, because it's very spiritual what we do as actors. You're on the set, you have your chakras all open, you're allowing this character to use your body as a vessel. And so you have to learn how to flip the switch on and flip it off. Otherwise, it could drive you mad. Because it's spiritual what we do. You understand? Yeah. We allow these characters and these stories to use our bodies as a vessel. That is a real, like, if you think about it, that's you allowing this other energy.
Project. I let the character speak to me. What we do as actors is very spiritual. You're on set, and that's why I don't pick a lot of roles, because it's spiritual, and I'm all alive and I'm open and my chakras are open, and I'm letting this character use my body as a vessel to tell its truth. And so when I'm open like that, a lot of energies can't be around me. I'm sorry. Because energy is strong, y'all. And you gotta be particular about who you keep around you. Like, seriously. If they down and they cloudy and they downtrodden, and if they got a cloud around you, hanging around, you think you're not gonna get wet? You gotta be very careful. So I'm very particular about the projects that I take on, because that's spirit.
And when you ask that I believe you ask that of a person who existed, you are asking them, and you are telling them that they have the permission to be in the space.
At the end of the day, for me, it was a lot of ancestry work. Blood work is what I call it, when you really have to lean on them. And there were times where, the surrendering is so deep that I felt like I just had to truly listen to the ancestors and all of their cries and their woes and everything that they've been through, so that I could honor that. So yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave it.
I flew into Port-au-Prince. We had to drive all the way to Jacmel. If you know where that's at, it's about 3 hours away. Jacmel is one of the most known areas for voodoo. I went out there to see the voodoo priest, and when I went out there, I paid him the money. He started reading my cards. He started doing all these crazy rituals, putting on an outfit, chugging alcohol, smoking a cigar, summoning demons into his body. I didn't know they were demons. They call them ancestral spirits. So I'm watching all this. I'm seeing the tarot cards, and he's reading things about my past spot on. I mean, like, things that really happened that nobody could have just known. So at that point, it's like I started believing because of the truth. He was telling me true things that happened. Did my friends rob me? And I'm starting to think everyone that was closest to me, my blood brother, my best friends, I'm talking about people I love, were all against me. Again, like what happened in New York, that same thing was happening, but this time it's worse, because now I have money, now I have power, now I have weapons, now I know people. Now, you know what I'm saying? So like now I went down this crazy path, and I was like, well, I'm going to keep seeking spiritualists. I went to an Indian medium in San Diego who told me a bunch of true things as well. But what they do in voodoo and witchcraft is they'll tell you true things about your past, spot on, and then lie to you. They'll tell you, oh, this person's against you and you need to give me this amount of money in order for it to break. But what you're doing is you're coming in agreement, and you're actually putting witchcraft on someone who probably didn't do anything to you. But I didn't know this, so I'm going to the mediums. I'm going to the psychics. I'm going to more voodoo priests. I'm going to witches. I'm all in. Now I don't care about the package. I don't care about the money. Now what I care about is finding out like what's true, because I'm like, this stuff is real. Like, they're telling me true things. Like, What if this is what I'm called to do myself? Because they're telling me things like, hey, and you're called to be a warlock. You're called to be a dual inducted warlock, and this is your ancestors, and your great grandmother was a witch, and they tell you all these things just to get you to believe this, because the devil wants to use you, especially when he sees the gifts on your life and the call on your life. The demons know before even we do, because they can see in the spirit realm. So anyways, I'm seeking. I went to New Orleans, and this is when it got even realer. I went to a warlock out there in New Orleans, and he was training me up because I met him. He said the same things that all the other ones said, and said, I need to train you. I'm the one that's called to train you, a Puerto Rican guy. And I literally, as he's saying these things and I'm learning from him different things, Solange Knowles walks in, Beyonce's sister, into that it's called the Botanica, the little witchcraft store. Solange Knowles, Beyonce's sister, walks in with her boyfriend, and I'm like, is this a dream? And is this Solange Knowles? He's like, yeah, she comes here regularly. We do rituals for her and her family. And I'm just like, what? Like the Knowles? Like, yeah, man, this is real. And she's buying product and paying for rituals. And I'm like, this might be my call. This might be my purpose. This might be it. Because again, I'm seeking the purpose of life. That's the root to all this, what's the purpose of life? At this time, I was learning chakra balancing. I actually was being trained up by a shaman. At a crystal shop, they were having workshops, a famous shaman from Brazil, and I was going every day learning about chakra balancing. I was actually balancing chakras over people, and I was
this was different from the warlock training. Was this just something that you were additionally interested in?
I was additionally interested. I kept seeking.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to learn more. I was preparing for when I went to Haiti and when I went to Puerto Rico. I was just always trying to learn more. It was from a crystal shop that I shopped at. They had they had a seminar type of thing where he came and he taught people how to do chakra balancing. I paid the money. I forgot how much it was, like $500-600. I paid it. He was teaching me all this. I mean, breath work. This is when I learned about breath work, which is extremely demonic. I was learning about breath work, how to, like, you do a whole bunch of breath exercises and it's supposed to help you get freed from or whatever. But it's honestly just demons. They're just manifesting. You never see people get delivered. And I was learning breath work, chakra balancing. This is where I was learning more about sage, Indian, more of the Cherokee Indian and Syrian Indian practices, which is shamanism. And he was talking to me, and it's like every warlock in which I went to always said, like, you're supposed to be trained under me. They were all trying to put me under their covering. And this is when it got real, because
but there's more of a secret part of how you grew up that I'm not familiar with.
Right.
And that is
the
occult.
Santeria. Santeria, it's called, Santeria means worship of saints, but that's a sugarcoat name, worship of demons.
Yeah.
So they deal with the nature, they deal with the ocean, rivers, they deal with the mountains, they deal with the cemetery, and they're all demonic forces. So I was initiated at the age of 8 years old, an ex-devil worshiper, because you become a Satanist. A Satanist, like being, compared to being like a young Christian.
Okay.
Because the devil
a
copies
catechumen
everything.
or something.
Yeah, something like that. But then you move up the ranks, and then you become a warlock. I put the necklace in my pocket. I told him my mom is calling me. I ran off, went to see my mom was calling me because I heard my mom's voice, familiar spirit. So I ran. When I got to the front of the building, 915 Delhi Avenue, I got to the front of the building. I took the necklace out of my pocket. I put it around my neck. And then at age of 8, my mom was taking me to the fortune teller with my aunt, because I came from a family of warlocks and witches from my father's side, because my father was a warlock and a witch. Also,
in Santeria?
In Santeria, and in spiritualism.
Okay.
Both.
Yeah.
So later on, we was introduced to Palo Mayumbe.
You've had all this cultivation in Santeria, and then you said you go to the witch house at age 8. What is that?
The tarot card reader is a fortune teller. She's well known in the community of the witches and warlocks because, she has a gift to tell fortune telling. She has a way to tell your future. She's a medium. She get possessed by demons. She talks. She gives you ingredients. She gives you recipes. She gives you ceremonies. She gives you rituals. She baptizes you, and she gives you initiations. She has these powers that she can engraft those things into your life. So my mom was going with my aunt to the house to get the cards read. But when I got there, the witch didn't want nothing to do with my mom and my aunt. She wanted to do with me. So I was the target. One thing about humanity or people or people that are in the occult, one thing, everything becomes the norm. Yeah. My grandma used to practice this, my mother practiced this, my aunt used to practice it. So it's okay, I can practice it because it's just become part of a family, a fabric. Yeah. So we practice it, but we don't know what we're practicing because we don't know the truth of it. We know the facts of it. But the truth, later on, once you're deep into it, the truth starts to come out. You worship demons. You worship the devil. You make ceremonies. You make contracts. You did spells. You did rituals. I was doing rituals. I did ritual ceremonies that I can actually project and leave my body.
I've heard of astral projection. I was talking to a guy actually on this series who said that he visited the surface of the sun. And I said, well, how'd you manage that? I said, how was it? He said, it's pretty hot. And I said, what do you mean? And he used this phrase, astral projection, that I still don't really understand.
Astral projecting is a ceremony you do with a demon. You do it. Anton LaVey did it, and he ended up dying later.
One of the founders of one of the Satanist
church, the Church of Satan.
Yeah.
He was the founder. He was the real deal at the time. And he actually projected a Christian pray and cut the silver cord. And that's how he died. It's a true story. And that's how he died, because the silver cord was cut. He couldn't go back into his body. The silver cord is the contract between the demon and him. It's not a silver cord like, like the movies.
Yeah.
It's the contract because the person that's helping you astral project, that's leading the way, taking you out of your body, it's a demon. So you're in unity with the demon. You go around regions, you curse regions, you reinforce demons, you fly over regions, you curse poverty to be in those areas, right? Like Baltimore, south of Chicago, people killing each other.
Yeah.
It's not a culture thing, it's a murder thing. It's a murder spirit. So you reinforce those areas. You actually project with that demon to make the contract to curse those areas, those regions, curse the atmosphere.
And so you did this?
Yeah, that was my thing. I was like doing astral projecting, like having Kool-Aid. I was so addicted to it.
And what is it? So what are you seeing then?
It's like you're coming out of your body, but you see everything. It's like when a person dies, you come out of your body, and the person is just as alive, like even more alive than you were in your body, because you're more alive. It's your spirit that's coming out. So to me, when I used to go out and rendezvous the regions where there's Europe, London, I would fly in those areas or fly back here. I would force myself to sleep during the day so I can fly out and curse the Europe, because Europe was nighttime.
So at what point, you said it's only when you get deeper into the occult that
you got to go deeper into the occult, because you got to there's ceremonies and rituals that you got to do, and commitment and trustworthiness, and there's you have to have a level of relationship and respect with the demons in order to take you to that level. You can't just walk in and tomorrow you say, hey, I want to astral project, sign me up. Impossible.
At what point did you realize you're not doing something good and worshiping God?
Because they justify. Like if I had to put witchcraft on a person, they said put witchcraft on him, make sure he got premature death, or send him to the hospital so he can get a premature surgery. He could die in the operating room, right? And this is all real. So, oh, he's an evil person. He beat his wife. He steals. He robs. So you think you're justifying it because he's bad, right? So you're doing justice because you're putting witchcraft on him. So they sugarcoat. They justify that person trying to witchcraft to you. That person is evil. That person hates you. The people at work hate you. The people in your neighborhood hate you. You gotta watch this person. You gotta watch that person. Watch your back on this person. And you start believing these stories, and then the demon puts it together. But we can take care of them. We can do witchcraft if you volunteer, if you give your time, and if you come in agreement with me, I give you buy the rituals. That's why they call those botanica places. The one that I went to, botanica place that I used to go to in Webster Avenue.
Okay.
And Fulton Row. I used to go there, and the people that used to own there, they were Jewish people, owned this place. They would make $30 million a year selling witchcraft stuff, right? So they make $30 million a year. So I used to buy my ingredients there. I started doing witchcraft. I was 7.5. Next came down 8. I was already getting rituals, or somewhere around the age of 15, around 14, 15. I was doing witchcraft to people.
Okay.
I was going to demon church from 7 in the evening to 5 in the morning.
So where are these places? I mean,
they're like secret hideouts. If you're part of the cult, it's like back in the days, there was a popular after hour. No one knew about it unless you knew someone that knew someone that knew someone to go there. Right. So it's the same thing with the occult. We know the Central. They got powerful mediums over there. You want to go, or it starts with the card reading, right? We know this powerful fortune teller, or we know this medium that read cards, and she's going to read your cards, but she's also connected to a church that you can go, and you want to grow spiritually. You're not growing spiritually, you're decaying spiritually.
Right.
You want to grow spiritually, you go and they do ritual, they do ceremony, you can be successful. That's why the people in Hollywood, they buy into the system. You want movies, you want money, you want fame, you want power, sign here. Same thing in politics.
Yeah.
Sign here. Look in politics. They're all witches and warlocks, man. Yeah. Kamala Harris. People don't like hearing the truth. You know, the truth will set you free. Do I got against anything against Kamala? I don't even know her. But I know the demonic. And I know what they're trying to do to the country. I know what they're trying to do to the people. Taylor Swift, what they're trying to do to the people. I know the witchcraft they're trying to. If I was famous, for say, and I love the people, they buy my tickets to come to my concert. Wouldn't I want you to live a good life?
Right.
Right. So you can have a good job. You can have live in a good place. You can have money. Not only buy tickets for my concert, but you can provide for your family. Why would I tell you to vote for the devil? Because I'm part of the devil. I'm part of the system. So I have to maintain the system. Because if I don't maintain the system comes after me.
Right. Right.
Like Epstein.
You see that happen. Yeah.
With Epstein. Yeah. P. Diddy now.
Right.
Someone has to get sacrificed because the system has to keep going. You got Cardi B. She said it on television. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to dress up like the devil. I don't want to sing devil songs anymore. I just want to be a mother. She said it out of her mouth.
Yeah.
They saying it, they doing it. It's not, I'm not hating. I want the best in your life through the truth of Jesus Christ in your life.
They might be a little more focused on the devil. Maybe they think he exists. Maybe they think it's all fake. So we know how the devil tempts people. But what are some other lies in your experience?
Well, the biggest lie the devil says, he offers you something that he can't complete. That's the biggest lie. He promises he can't keep.
Yeah, yeah.
He offers you the story, but he doesn't offer you the finish line. The devil's real. I hung out with him for 25 years. He is real, just like this table. But God is greater. God is greater. God is not bootleg. He's not a copycat. He's a great original. So would I rather have a great original or have bootleg and copy? You can have a great original Chanel bag. You can go to Canal Street and get a bootleg one, right? It might look alike, but in the end, who's gonna last longer?
Right.
Right. So I'm gonna last longer because I have a relationship with the King of Kings. I'm gonna last longer than having a relationship with the devil, because in the end, it doesn't end well.
This is what I felt. You know, you mentioned the tarot cards.
I can explain it.
Well, good. I'd like to, because there was this weird experience.
Because people getting fooled.
Yes, they
so many.
Right.
900 number. Call Miss Cleo.
Yeah. When I was younger, when I was reverting, one of these kind of spiritual medium, like witch people, oddly enough, kind of played a role in my reversion.
Okay.
The short version of it is, I was an actor, I was on a project, and I talked to an actress, and we were talking about Dante, because she was Italian. And anyway, I saw her sometime later at an audition, and she said, Michael, you're not gonna believe this. I was talking to my psychic, and I walked in, and right away she asks me, who's Dante? She goes, I'd been seeing this. I said, well, hold on, you see a psychic? What? Excuse me? But then she said, yeah, I've been seeing a psychic. And anyway, out of the blue, she asks, who's Dante? And that's such a weird thing, you know, because we were just talking about Dante. And it really freaked me out. I think I might have even called the woman, though she didn't call me back, thankfully. And what freaked me out about it was, there is a spiritual reality that is not totally explicable by physical means. And and then the next thought I had was, hold on, there are people who go to psychics, who go to tarot card readers, who go to, and so you say the devil promises you something that he can't pay off. Well, of course, what do they promise there? They say, oh, we'll predict the future. But the devil doesn't know the end of the story.
He don't know what's going to happen in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's like the psychic, right? This is what they do. Did you go to psychic, you sit with her, you tell her your name, she writes your name down on a piece of paper, and she say, well, my name is whatever, my name is Miss Cleo, whatever, they use a name, right? So they take the cards, right? They break them in three: past, present, and future. They tell you to break it in three bundles.
This is the tarot
cards. The tarot cards. Okay. So you break it in three bundles: past, present, and future. The past, demons roam the earth. They know your past, familiar spirits. Yeah. They know what you do. They know what you've been. They know how many abortions you had. They know how many pain you're in. They know your situation, your circumstances. The demon knows. So the demon is reporting to her everything to say on the cards about your past. Now you impress. Right? Because you impressed. First you get impressed. Like, ooh, she knows. Why she knows that? She don't know me. The humanity of her don't know you, but the demon is talking to her knows you. Because demons roam the earth. In the book of Job, God summons the devil. Said, what have you been doing? I've been roaming up and down the earth.
Yeah.
Right? So now she's telling you your past, and you're impressed. You're like, whoa, you know, how she knows that? Right? And then now she tells you, take the middle cards, the middle deck. Now she's going to tell you about your presence, things you're going through now. And now your curiosity is up and running, you know, on red alert, because now you're curious. Oh my gosh, she knows my past. Now she knows my presence. She's wheeling you in.
Yeah.
So now she's telling you your marriage is messed up, or your husband is messed up, your kids are messed up, you're having problems with your neighbor, you're having problems at work, you're having all these things, because demons roam the earth. They're spying on you. This is called monitoring spirits in the demonic kingdom. So they're monitoring, they're reporting back to her, telling her all these things about you. Now you're blown away. You know, you're like, wow, how does she know these things? Now she has you spiritually, because now she only captivated you. Now she has your curiosity, she captivated you. And then the third step will be your future. Then this is what she tells you. This is the catch-22.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I see your kids getting into an accident. I see your husband leaving you. You're like, my husband been faithful for 50 years. We've been married. How's he gonna leave me?
Yeah.
And she said, no, I see here. You better do this ritual, do this ceremony, do this cleansing. You know, it's only gonna cost you $1,500, right? So you're like, oh, wow, well, I don't kind of believe that, because me and my husband like peanut butter and jelly. We go together, you know, we go everywhere, even to the bathroom. You know, that's how close we are. And you said, could you give me time to think about it? So she'll tell you, she'll drop a number on you. Oh, you got 20 days because it's going to go down. Now, you miss it, you get busy, 20 days, you find a phone number in your husband's pocketbook, his wallet, phone, whatever, and then you find your husband, pictures, whatever. It's a setup. Because the demon that was talking to her, go home with you to produce these things, to make these things happen, to seduce your husband, to put your kid in a car accident. So now these things happen because you can't stop what you can't see. These demonic powers, you open the door to it, they go, they perform these things. Now you think the witch knows the future. So you go back to her because now you're desperate, right? You drop the $1,500 on her. After you drop the $1,500 on her, right? She calls back the demon. Everything goes peaceful for a season. She makes the $1,500. She do the ceremony. And then she say, you got to come back in 3 months. You keep doing it. That's another $1,500, another $2,000, another $3,000. And then you got to do a ritual, another $4,000. And now you think that she helped you.
It's like a protection racket.
Right.
Speaking of the Bronx.
The Bronx. Right.
Hey, she would be a shame if something happened to your store here.
Right. Exactly. So now she has you because now she's controlling you. She's manipulating you to your family, to your loved ones. And now you think she helped you because she made things peaceful for a while. It's witchcraft. They don't know the future. They create chaos with demons that put a witchcraft that's put on you. And the only person that knows the future, he has a great future for you, is Christ.
Right. That spells it out clearly, because yes, as someone who believes,
and then they know names because they hear conversations. So they heard that conversation, they were trying to woo you in, but God stopped it.
No,
think about it.
As someone who believes in, obviously, in God and the reality of spiritual warfare and all this stuff, when you say, the psychic witch lady can figure out the past because the demon tells her.
You can bring one here to the show and sit her there and give her the cards. I'll take the Pepsi challenge with her.
Right.
I'll strip it down to nothing, show her everything. Matter of fact, she'll come to Jesus before the show is over.
That would be good.
And the truth is, and it's not saying that to be arrogant and prideful, it's the truth is people give the livelihood. People give, like my mom, she gave $250. She had to sell her bedroom set and sleep on the floor because my mom wanted to be a good mother and protect me from a curse that was supposed to lose my eyesight, right? And how many people lose their livelihood, on their financial livelihood by giving money here, giving money there, because they're trying to find peace, they're trying to find joy, they're trying to find a purpose, they're trying to find a destiny. And all you can find that is in Christ, and it's free.
Some people say, don't go to psychics because it's bogus and they're just taking your money. Some people say, don't go to psychics because they're playing around with demons. And your answer actually is the best one I've heard. Yeah, it's both.
Both.
It's
a combination.
One time when I moved to LA, Gomorrah by the Sea, we call it, I was walking under Santa Monica Pier, and I was walking with a buddy of mine, and we found a beheaded chicken.
Oh, they did a ritual to the ocean. So the ocean is the marine spirit in the ocean. So if you see a beheaded chicken, they sacrifice the chicken to the blood, to the marine spirit that lives in the ocean. It's not Aquaman.
Yeah.
It's a marine spirit called Jemaya in the Santeria religion. So they sacrifice it because they're making a pact of, I'm sacrificing, I'm cleansing myself, but this is what I'm asking in return. I'm giving you this sacrifice for this in return. And that's why you see the headless chicken by the ocean.
I kid you not, when I saw it, I was so naive. I thought, oh, maybe it came out of a restaurant up there on the pier or something like that. My buddy said, I think it's a little more like voodoo kind of stuff.
Voodoo stuff, yeah. Voodoo stuff. You know, animals, they sacrifice the higher the archetype, the higher the rank, the higher the demon that you're messing with, then you got to move all over to like goats and sacrifices of sheep and bigger animals. But if you do animals of, if you do normal cleansings or rituals, and you either rooster or chicken, that's what they use.
Man. And now it's legal.
Did not fall down from a restaurant.
It did not come.
No, they did that at night. It's illegal.
It's illegal in California, but you said in Florida
Miami,
it's legal. Yeah,
Miami it's legal. Miami, because all the witch doctors got to. If you go to Miami, all you see people there, a lot of the Cubans there, and nothing wrong with Cuban people, but I'm talking about they call it the culture. Yeah. It's dressed all in white. See them all in white all the time. Then I'm dressing in white means purity, it means sanctification, it means consecration. But you can't consecrate yourself just because you wear a white suit. Yeah. You know, consecration comes within. It's your heart, right? Yeah. So they wear a white suit. Like when I did the Jemaya Santeria occult ritual, I had to dress 365 days in white plus 7. Right? Because they adopt numbers. 7 means for Jemaya, 5 means for Chun, 3 means for Shango. So they adopt numbers. So, you know, the Bible speaks about numbers. Copycats.
Right.
8 means new beginning, 5 number of grace. You know, 3 in the Bible for me is Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Of course. Yeah. You know, so the devil copies everything that belongs to the kingdom of our Lord Jesus Christ. He copies everything. The blood sacrifices, Old Testament stuff.
Yeah.
But they do it because they don't have the ultimate sacrifice, which is Christ.
Right, right. Yeah, it's a pale imitation, and the
exactly
consequences of it will be a pale imitation.
Yeah.
Too.
And copycats don't work. They usually fall apart.
Right.
Right? Whether you buy a handbag, right, a wallet, or watch. Well, this is a Rolex. Well, it's not real, but it's a Rolex.
It says it right there.
It says it there. But eventually that Rolex is not going to last because eventually it's counterfeit, you know? But it's crazy how every counterfeit wants to copy a great original.
And from that moment, so after a few days of that, this witch come and she told my mom, I feel like your daughter has a gift. She has something. So she started to kind of like mentor me, train me. She taught me how to read white candles, manifestation, how to bring things into reality. One of the things is crystals, right? Crystals for protection, crystals for healing, crystals. We used to also use crystals to know the future. So crystals have different uses. Tarot cards, like you have tarot cards, all of these books of manifestation, what is teaching you is New Age. Declare this, declare money, manifest love in your life. All of those things look like they are not offensive. They look like they are just normal. Those things won't harm you. Another thing that I will say also is movies about witchcraft, that you think, oh, this is just fun, I'm just gonna go there and just watch these terror movies, but in reality you are opening portals in that moment. So there's a lot of things. So everything that looks like inoffensive, like it's not gonna harm anyone, is considered white witchcraft. But in reality, as I said, all of those things, regardless of the color, are opening doors and are opening portals to the enemy. So as I mentioned, when we were in Spain and we moved to a different city, now we had this other witch coming to the picture, and she was moving more in black witchcraft, right? So now what happens is that when she saw me, I remember I was in the living room of my house and my mom inviting her. So she came in, she looked at me and she put this face, and she looked at my mom and she said to my mom, your daughter has a gift. I have to train her. Your daughter has something. And I was there like, whoa, what's going on here? So to the point that she told my mom, we have to do a ritual. We have to consecrate her. We have to give her to this spirit guy, right? So we did this ritual. All of us were dressing in white. There was other witches there too, and they put me in the middle of the circle, all of them around, and they just started to just call upon this demon. That is a spirit guide. Is called the Huacaypuro Indian. Is one of the is one of the 3 Venezuelan powers. It's a principality. So they just started to call upon that. And what happened with this is that not anyone can call upon this demon. Only the ones that is believed that only the ones that are chosen can have access to this demon. So when we were doing the ritual, now this demon came and they gave me to this principality, and he became my spirit guide. So I used to be quite sensitive to his presence. I knew when he was in a room. I knew when he was walking around. Now, this witch was also training me with crystals, but she was now, because I was a teenager, I was becoming quite aggressive, right? So when I was going to school and I saw that people were talking about me or doing things, I knew I'm just gonna go home, speak to my spirit guy, and I'm just gonna put a curse on you. So I was becoming at that point like, I know now that I have the power. I know now that if you come for me, I can come for you with no doubt. So by that point with this woman, I realized I have the power. You cannot do anything to me because I have this spirit guy, which is powerful. I can put curses on you. I can do witchcraft on you.
Now, because I know in this movie you play is it like a psychiatrist, dream therapist?
Yeah, no, I play a child therapist.
Right, right. But well, what I'm getting to is kind of interpreting dreams and this kind of thing. Are you into that in real life? Like, are you like a psychic type?
My friends say I'm a little bit psychic. One of my friends called her. She's like, "You're a witch."
What is the difference between a witch?
No, but she says it in a joking way, you know?
Right, right.
Because, like, I'll say the phone's gonna ring and it'll ring, you know, and it'll be so and so, and so like, you know, what I mean?
Hang on.
You just get like a little psychic vibe going.
Have you ever been to a psychic? Do you go to those?
Yeah,
people?
I've been.
Really?
I think they're fun.
You go to the $3.99 a minute people on the phone?
No, not on the phone.
No.
But I've been to like psychics. They tell you things. It's fun. The thing about it, it's weird sometimes because it's like you'll go to a psychic and you'll think to yourself, "Oh my God, they know everything about me. It's so weird." And then you walk out and you think, that could have been anybody.
You know, one of my good friends in this music business, as you guys all well know, is from the Bronx, Jennifer Lopez. Oh, no, stop. No,
By the way,
stop,
she's
really.
listening.
Is she listening?
Jay, you got to hit me up so he knows you're listening.
Okay, that's
right?
my
so
girl.
You know.
I was going to do my whole spiel. But one of the things I've always admired about J-Lo is that Heather speaks about this too, and we also heard Ramon Dukes just talk about how to balance life.
Yes.
Especially when you're in the eye of the storm of success.
Absolutely. And you know what it is? It's more about balancing her spirit, balancing her soul, balancing and understanding that, you know, number one, she believes in God, and so do I. That's number one. We know who drives the car.
Well, I got to introduce you before you go off, though. Did I have introduced her yet? No, I haven't.
Go ahead.
Okay, but that right there, that sentiment that you just shared with us, that reeks with Jennifer in a great way. When she comes into your environment, you feel her vibration, you feel her energy. You sit next to her, it makes you want to be better.
You can't be just anybody to sit next to her.
You can't.
Your vibe got to vibe with her. You got to be on the same vibration. You got to be on the same frequency. If you're not, she ain't with it.
And that voice you hear right there is Jennifer Lopez's spiritual consultant, her great friend. Yes. She's a spiritual healer and a psychic medium. Yes. And she goes by the name of the one and only J. Ray.
Yeah.
J. Ray. You got J. Lo and you got J. Ray.
But Jay, you know, just so everybody knows, Jay's, of course, one of my very good friends, and I thank her every single day for trusting me with her spirit and trusting me with her soul. But I do way more others than just Jay, you know? That happened kind of in a God's way. It was a God plan. It kind of aligned, and that's how we met. And it's a great story, and I'll tell it another day.
my saint in my head is control. Like, that's why I always wear a white T-shirt on Mondays. It's the day of the spirit.
What? You always wear a white T-shirt on Monday?
Look at my shoes. They're white on white.
Always?
When I step out of the shower, I walk onto
Only
a
on
white
Monday?
shower mat every day.
Every day.
Every day. I'm still very Santa-y in my head. It's an all-night ceremony.
All
it's
night?
all night on a Friday.
It's crazy.
All night
12
on
hours
Friday,
long.
12 hours
Yeah.
long.
Oh, my
You
God.
sleep, and then Sunday is when they read your future to you. And then for a week, you just live in a corner, white. They paint your head, you're bald. So I
What?
had to go back to school on Monday bald with a hat. They said he's not allowed in here with a hat. My mother gave the principal a small nickel, and I was allowed to wear the hat from 9 to 3. But then at 3 o'clock, I had to go home and change into white clothes for a year. Not allowed
For
to
a
look.
year?
I had to dress in white. Not
For a
allowed-
year?
A year. So for night calls, I would just have to wear
Imagine the
white
dry cleaning
underwear,
bills.
white socks, and white T-shirt. Because I was a kid, I can't keep wearing fucking white every day. I'm ripping shit.
Right.
So now your hair has to grow back. So when I walk into, there's a ton of Santeria in L.A.
J-Lo's ex-husband claims that J-Lo sacrificed chickens for Santeria rituals. Johnny Noah married Lopez in February of 1997. When they were desperate to save their marriage, he visited an LA home of a Santeria guru with J-Lo. This is what he was saying. Noah said, quote, "We participated together in sacrifices of chickens and hens, and in one occasion, I was present when they were cleansing Jennifer with the blood of a hen. The hen's blood was poured over Jennifer until she was covered in it," Noah said. "Then she was bathed in holy water to wash away the blood, and herbs were passed over her body. Meanwhile, the godmother was asking the gods to cleanse Jennifer and save our marriage," he said. Noah testified that Lopez, quote, "was doing voodoo when we weren't married. She was doing bad things to a lot of people when we were friends. And I knew all this time because we did personally, me and her, to this particular lady." Noah added that Lopez did voodoo and, quote, "all this religious bullshit," unquote, to former lovers, including Sean Puffy Combs. She's been accused of doing voodoo on her ex-boyfriends, dude. Ben Affleck, Sean Diddy Combs, this Ojani guy.
It would make sense. Ojani claims that he and Jennifer had a black magic godmother, that J-Lo even performed a Santeria ritual to be granted the Selena movie role, the movie role that changed her life. It was reported that Salma Hayek was originally cast to play Selena, but somehow the role ended up going to Jennifer Lopez. According to Salma, she turned it down because she felt it was too soon to do a movie about Selena, claiming that she was offered the role 1 week after Selena passed away. When I read this detail, I was shocked, and I instantly got a lot of questions. How were they going to make a Selena movie just 1 week after she passed away? This makes me suspicious about Selena's passing, and honestly, makes me want to look into it. Now, back to J-Lo and the witchcraft allegations. J-Lo started dating Ojani back in the mid-90s and ended up marrying him in 1998. He was actually her first husband and was with her before she became a massive star. He was exposed to Santeria after he started dating J-Lo. He claimed that after they broke up, because J-Lo was cheating on him with Diddy, he and J-Lo went to see their Santeria spiritual leader, who he called the godmother. This is where he claims that J-Lo participated in sacrifices to the gods in order to cleanse herself of Diddy. According to Ojani, he saw J-Lo do a blood rebirth ritual where she bathed in chicken blood until she was covered in it from head to toe. He then claims that she was washed off with holy water and patted with herbs. Ojani actually did an interview with a Latin broadcaster some time back. The interview is in Spanish. Something else Ojani said was that J-Lo used Santeria rituals to further her Hollywood career. So this confirms that J-Lo, just like so many other stars in Hollywood, used the occult to further her career. I am not surprised, as she did end up around Diddy, who is known for his strange industry rituals. This is further confirmed after blogs started reporting that Ben Affleck was afraid of J-Lo because of her dealing with dark magic, claiming that he wanted to stay on her good side so that she won't put a spell on him.
Ben Affleck knows what's up. He's been in the house and has seen his wife behind closed doors. There is no part of him that doesn't believe it. He wholeheartedly believes it. He doesn't want to put it all out there because he's scared, and I understand. You know, the scary thing about dealing with witches is that they operate in the spirit realm. So you can't just go to a police officer and say, hey, they're doing voodoo on me, they're casting spells on me. It simply doesn't work. The only thing Ben and anyone in his situation can do is turn to a higher, more powerful source, the highest one, and only one can free him from this spiritual prison. Also, isn't it ironic that her first husband was already exposing this stuff, and now you have Ben Affleck, her latest husband, talking about similar things?
Off the top, super simple, just like that. Then you're gonna take it and cut a little slice in it, right here, and another little slice, right here. Look at that, little devilish treat by the Lola. You can get it in your local liquor store. Cheers. Gives that a little spice right there. Happy Halloween.
Screaming out your name, got me feeling safe. It's a new day, like I'm in dirt. You make me sing out hallelujah. This kind of love will do it to you like church, yeah. Ready to say I do, making this woman true. It's honest to God's truth. Ready to say I do, making this woman true. It's honest to God's truth. You make me sing out hallelujah. This kind of love will do it to you like church, yeah, baby, I'm in church, ooh, I'm in church with you, I'm in church with you.
I have the power. You cannot do anything to me because I have this spirit guide, which is powerful. I can put curses on you. I can do witchcraft on you. And I remember there was one point where my ex cheated on me, and I knew the person that he cheated on me, who she was. And I remember I did witchcraft on her. I was so angry. I did witchcraft on her. And eventually when I became Christian, I had to repent for that because the Lord reminded me that I was doing witchcraft on her and just trying to kill her. So when I became Christian, I found out that the girl was in the hospital dying. Eventually, my first reaction was calling my ex, and I'm like, hey, I'm so sorry. Can I please pray for her? And he was like, yes, please pray for her. She's dying. She had this awful accident that we don't even know what happened. She fell and her brain just got swollen. And at that point, I was praying for her, and the Holy Spirit reminded me, you did witchcraft on her, and you were trying to kill her. You were literally putting all of your strength for her to die. At that moment, I started to cry, and I'm like, Lord, I don't want her life to be on my hands. And I started to cry, Lord, forgive me. Lord, please save her, Lord, please. And you know what? That night, I had a dream with her. And in the dream, she was coming dressed in white. And I was just telling her, like, I'm so sorry. But she looked at me and she said, like, don't worry, I'm fine. I'm gonna be fine. When I wake up, I knew she died. And straight away, after like 15, 20 minutes of me having that dream, my ex messaged me and he was like, she just died. She's gone. I knew. But at that point, I knew that, okay, the Lord forgave me. And I know that she's fine, that she is with God now. Because during that process of her dying, I kind of like prayed with her, like the prayer of faith and all of that. So that was for me quite touching. Like I realized, like, wow, it actually impacted someone's life. And by that point also I was living with this witch. So before I went to live with her, we did a ritual in the house. We went at the entrance of the house, all of the witches, we were in a circle and we were speaking in tongues. So that's something that when I became Christian, I struggled with the idea of speaking in tongues, because I was like, we used to speak in tongues in the occultism. I don't know if this is right as a Christian. So we were doing that ritual at the entrance of the house, and the main one, the main witch, she started to get possessed, and this demon took over her. Her voice changed, her face changed, her body, everything, and she was just controlled. And she looked at me and my mom. So this demon, he started to say, someone in your family is going to die in 1 week. It was actually giving the days, and the declaration was released. Wow. So my mom looked at me and my mom started to cry. And this demon keeps saying, do you want to know who it is? Do you want to know who it is? Like aggressive. But at that point, I was trying to commit suicide, because this demon that was my spirit guide was harassing me, so was pushing me, he wanted more, because when you partner with darkness, when you are consecrated, there is a point that you have to give more to go to the next level. And I didn't want to give more. Like I was trying to commit suicide, because I felt like I cannot take this anymore. But also at the point of me cutting myself, all of the blood was going as a sacrifice to this demon. So it was giving him more power and more power. So as he was growing up and taking over my house and taking over me, I was decreasing. So when he started to ask this demon, do you want to know who it is? I look at my mom and I said to her, I don't want to know, because if it's me, I know it's going to be me, because I'm trying to die. I want to die. So we closed the session. Everyone was just looking at each other like, what did just happen here? Literally, we were almost like shocked, because we weren't expecting this to happen. So we closed the session, and eventually all of that stuff in our mind, like 1 week, who is gonna die? Who is gonna die, Lord? Who is this person? So I went to live with this woman for 1 week, and after 1 week exactly, on a Sunday, 28th of September 2008, at 5 in the morning, my mom called the witch that I was living with, and she told my mom, Julie has to come now. And my mom couldn't speak, so we ran to the house. The whole time that I was in the car with this witch, she had like this look on her face of like calm. And I was just thinking, okay, maybe like nothing happened. So we went to the house. My mom was outside of the house with my little brother, that he was 2 years by that point. She was crying. She couldn't even speak. She couldn't even articulate. So I keep asking her, what happened? What happened? She didn't even say any word. So I went inside of the house. When I went inside of the house, I mean, the darkness in that house, you could touch darkness in that house, that how bad it was. It was almost that you have to walk removing these veils in the spirit, because it will push you down. And when I entered the house, I went to my parents' room. The light was on. When I entered, it was this awful presence, this atmosphere. I only experienced that twice in my life, and that moment, and recently when I was praying with someone against witchcraft in her house. I was only the 2 moments in my life that I experienced that heaviness in my life. So I didn't find my dad there, so I went out. I went next to the storage that we had next to the house. I just felt like, I don't know why I feel like taking it here. And when I pushed the door, my father just committed suicide. He was there. He hung himself.
Wow.
And when I saw him there, I froze completely. I felt like my mind, my soul, everything left me. And I cried. I knelt on the floor and I started to cry like, why, if there's a God, will you take the only good thing that I have in my life right now? That's my dad. Because me and my dad, we were like best friends. We were super connected. My relationship with my mom never was as good. So by that point, my life was taken. We lasted in that house for literally 5 days because of the atmosphere. We were having nightmares. I could see my dad passing by. Eventually, it was a familiar spirit. And I continuously say, Dad is here, Dad is here. So I was getting crazy. So familiar spirits are basically demons that are assigned to a family for generations. So those spirits know everything about the family. They know their weakness, they know their strength, they take on the form of the person. That's why when my mom was invoking her mother, apparently this demon came over. It was a familiar spirit. So when I was looking at my dad passing by, you know, now I know it was a familiar spirit. It was trying to, you know, make me crazy. My mom tells me, I don't remember this, I have flashes, that there was one point where she thinks I was possessed, and they found me on the same place that my dad tried to commit suicide. They found me there, tried to hang myself. And I remember having flashes. I thought it was a dream, but I had these flashes of me hung there, trying to die in that place.
Wow.
And that was when my mom realized we have to leave this house. That was after like 4 or 5 days. We couldn't be there because we felt that we were gonna die, right? So we packed everything. We packed what we had, what we could, and we went to my mother's house, to my aunt's house. And at that point, my mom realized witchcraft destroyed my family, because she had a friend that was moving in white witchcraft. And she called my mom and she told my mom, something happened in your house. I tried to astral project and there was this black cloth all around your house and I couldn't enter. What happened? And my mom said to her, like, you know, my husband just committed suicide. We left the house. So the woman told my mom, I told you that this person that you were bringing to your house wasn't coming with good intentions. So my mom had connection with this woman that was moving in black witchcraft. She also had connection with this other woman because she realized she wasn't Christian, but she realized witchcraft destroyed our family.
And once again, we are coming to an end of this video. As you might have already noticed, I had to shorten these 3 videos significantly and condense the content. Because of that, I had to focus mainly on the darker aspects of these practices, while still including some key information on how things work. The purpose of this video is not to create fear. However, it is important to be aware of what is happening on the spiritual side, because once again, it's the same story. Hollywood constantly tries to brainwash people into believing that Satan is just a fairy tale. The same goes for witchcraft. The world tries to normalize and desensitize us to these practices, and not only that, but even draw us into them. So the problem is that people need to understand who they are engaging with and what they are agreeing to. So many are unaware of what they are truly getting involved in. So yeah, it's no surprise for me that the world promotes witchcraft. Satan loves when people unknowingly align with him and seek refuge in him instead of God. And let me be clear, this video is not about mocking or hating anyone who practices witchcraft. Its purpose is to inform those who may have never encountered this topic before and hopefully never will. And at the same time, it's also for those who are involved in these practices, so that the truth might set them free. Now back to the videos I showed you. As I didn't get to fully share their testimonies, how they not only left witchcraft but also became followers of Jesus Christ, I will end this video with some short testimonies from different individuals. That being said, I will now also blend in the names of each original video in case you'd like to watch their full story. Before I play those testimonies now and wrap everything up, I want to mention one last thing. I will be uploading another video, a part 2 on New Age and witchcraft. This will be my last and final video on this topic, like this whole satanic witchcraft topic, and I highly encourage you to watch it, so please check it out afterwards. But for now, let's continue with the last part of the video.
I am not saying that Jesus Christ is the only true God because I'm a Christian. It has absolutely got nothing to do that I'm a Christian. It has absolutely got nothing to do with this outfit that I'm wearing. It has got absolutely nothing to do with it. I say it with a loud voice, with absolute confidence, with no hesitation, no reservation. Jesus Christ is the only true God that visited this earth over 2,000 years ago. You know why? Because he revealed himself to me. He made himself known to me. I know him. I know him. Yes, I'm a sinner, but I know Jesus. I just don't not only believe in him, but I know him. I've seen him. He is the truth. He is real.
Jesus, if you are true, show me yourself. And before I was finished with the sentence, that spirit had ran away. That moment, I felt a touch on my left shoulder and a voice that says, I forgive you. Didn't understand. How could that be possible? Because Allah is forgiving and merciful. But we cannot know his forgiveness till the day of judgment. So I said, who are you that forgives me? And I feel forgiven today. And he said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And I did not understand what that means because I had never heard those words. So I said, what is your name? And he said, Jesus Christ, the living God. I fell on the floor. I just wept.
I thought she was dead.
First responders arrived at the scene. Paramedics administered 2 rounds of epinephrine and shocked Tina's heart.
I did it a third time when I'm looking at them going, guys, is her heart beating? Can you get her heart to beat? Please, God, please make her heart beat.
Tina's injuries included a gash on her forehead from the fall, a cracked sternum, and several cracked ribs from the CPR. With no sign of life for over 20 minutes, Tina is rushed into the ER.
I said, God, take everything from my life. If you'll give me back Tina.
Meanwhile, Tina's sister, Tammy, and her husband, Dave, rush across the desert from Los Angeles to Phoenix.
She just told me that she had sudden peace, sudden, like something fell on her, peace, that Tina was going to be okay. And as she told me that story, I got a text on my phone.
It was from Brian. Tina is alive. The doctor explained.
Well, we defibrillated her one more time in the ER, and she came back. But there was probably 27, 28 minutes with limited or no oxygen.
Most people don't survive after 5 to 10 minutes of being without oxygen to the brain. And if Tina pulled through, she would most likely have brain injuries that could leave her with a major brain handicap. Once she was fully conscious, Dave placed a pen in her hand and held a notebook for her.
And she just started making marks, and I couldn't tell what it was, and I was almost shaking, I was fixed. I just held the book steady because I didn't want it to drop.
We figured out that she had wrote I-T-S-R-E-A-L. It's real. And I go, the pain? The hospital? She's slowly nodding her head. Eyes are closed, she's fully vented, she's moving all this. And then my daughter goes, heaven? And she goes, she nods yes.
The doctor warned that she may not be able to speak for a while. However, Tina had a lot to say immediately.
I just wanted to share that I saw Jesus face to face. The unbelievable rest and peacefulness of what I was experiencing was Jesus standing there with his arms open wide, and right behind Jesus standing there was this incredible glow. It was the most vibrant and beautiful yellow.
With her cracked sternum and ribs on the mend, Tina was discharged from the hospital on February 16th, just 4 days after suffering a cardiac arrest, without any brain impairments. Today, Tina's training for a half marathon.
My father and my mother, they all are Muslim. I was born as Muslim. I know at this moment I'm sitting down here, anybody who know me will know that after today and yesterday, my life has changed. A lot of things yesterday happened to me. I was deaf. Before somebody calling me to give me something, I have to hit me. I can't hear. I spend a lot of money because of medicine for this, my ears. Saturday morning, I came to Accra to visit my own brothers. So after visiting them, I was coming back to go Tema. It was very late and the train left. So I just went and slept at this place.
Be healed right now in the name of Jesus. Blind eyes open in the name of Jesus. Deaf ears open in the name of Jesus.
Wake up and I heard my ears sound, and I was healed. That immediately I was healed. I went to the people. I said, "No, let me testify this. I was deaf." My name is Mohammed. I have a problem for my ears for almost 2 years. When you speak, I don't understand. I can't hear very well. So I have this problem for 2 years. So I'm not even trying to come here. I came from Tema, I came to Kanisin. By going to take a train, I make late. So I say, let me come to the Independence Square. You see, I came to Independence Square. I was sitting down here, just here. I did not even pray. I did not do anything. So I wake up and I can hear, and the ears was telling me I can hear. People who know me can testify that I am very happy. I think Jesus is a God. He understands me. I was not born to be deaf. I was not born to worship a God that I did not know.
When you were in your lowest moment and you were alone, I did not turn my face from you. I saw you under the fig tree.
Really, baby? When is that? When you prayed? In my dream. When did you dream? When I was sleeping. What did he tell you? We'll always be together and play again. Did he forgive you? Yeah. Don't cry, no. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You are lucky because you saw Jesus. You know you are lucky because you saw him. You are one of the luckiest person, baby. Don't cry anymore. You're not being a bad girl.
Everything is working out for mine. Jesus.
Why are you crying? What about Jesus? Mommy, they don't. Why are you crying? Because Jesus what? Jesus loves me. Because Jesus loves you. So why are you crying?
His eyes were the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
Mom, if you've seen that, if you would have saw them, you would have said they were beautiful, more beautiful than mine. And his lips, they never chapped, he said. No. Even happens, like your lips are just perfect. His lips were perfect. His lips were perfect. And Mom, he said that the reason you went through so much when you were little, he said it's because that's why the way you are today. He said that's why you are so good at what you do today. He said that your kids are like you because of you. He said that they're going to grow up to be just like you.
The Lord took me to heaven. I didn't see anyone but Jesus. If I had seen any other prophet, any other human being that says, come, I take you to heaven, I would have said it, but I didn't. I only saw the Lord because He's the only way. This is the truth. And it's got nothing to do with being a Christian or not. It's got to do with the truth. The truth is Jesus Christ is God, revealed in the flesh. And He is the only one that can take you to heaven. He is the way to heaven. He is the truth of heaven, and He is the life of that heaven. He is heaven itself. There's no one else. You can believe it, you can reject it, absolutely fine. You have the right. You're free, my dear friend. I'm not the judge. The Lord Jesus is. But sooner or later, every human being will come to this realization.